7:37 morning, you're watching and listening to Breakfast with Stephen and Anne live across the UK on your TV and on your radio. Happy Easter.
Yes, even on this Easter Sunday we are with you, and we want to know where you are watching us and what you're planning to do today. It's been lovely to hear from so many people.
Yes.
John and Kaz say, love watching your show in the morning with my fiancé. Kaz today is, with our fiancé Kaz. Today is our granddaughter's 2nd birthday, so we're going to be spending some time at Rough and Tumble at Newton Aycliffe and hopefully enjoying some sunshine up here in Durham. Morning, Durham.
Very nice. Carol Gower is in Wales and said Pasig Harpus, which is Welsh, hopefully, for Happy Easter.
Oh, good.
Roger and Michelle say Happy Easter from Oslo in Norway, where we're watching GBNEWS on the app. They like watching their favourite guy, the Dicks. That's me.
That's you.
The Dicks.
The Dicks and the Die.
I quite like it. God paske, they say.
Good paske.
Good paske.
Yeah.
You can speak a bit Norwegian, can't you?
Yeah, but I can't do anything about Easter. I can only do...
You can christen ships.
Yes.
You need a ship christening.
Yeah, in Norwegian.
Give us a whirl.
Hallo alle sammen, og gratulerer med dagen.
Impressive, isn't it? She could be saying anything, but it's
Jeg er så
great.
glad for å være her ombord Viking Venus. That's the ship I christened.
Venus.
Yeah.
Well,
After that, I forget the next bit, but there you are. Basically, I said something like, God bless her and all who sail in her.
Oh, lovely. I love this from Glenys and Graham in Redditch. Hello to you. They're having a rest day today because they had their Christmas day yesterday with the family because they all had COVID over Christmas. 3 generations sat round the table, including my 91-year-old sister and triplet grandsons aged 17.
Oh, that
we had a fun-filled day, and I bet it was a love-filled
bet it was.
day.
Do you know, I think the one thing that, well, there are lots of things that we've learned after lockdowns and pandemics, is that if you can't celebrate with your family on one day, it doesn't make it meaningless, does it? You can put it off for another couple of weeks or something. Penny in Oxfordshire says, today my 13-year-old grandson, Oscar, comes over from Finland, flying on his own with a chaperone. Neither my son nor any of my family have seen him for over 2 years.
Oh.
So looking forward to seeing him this afternoon.
Oh, lovely. Have a lovely, lovely time.
No, I've got to mention this as well because it's so important. Adrian says, I'm off to work at the NHS now. Happy Easter.
Keep up the good work.
And Jackie says, sending Easter wishes from a hazy March in Cambridgeshire.
Very nice too. Keep your thoughts coming through. We adore hearing from you like you won't believe. gbviews@gbnews.uk.
Shall we go through the papers now?
Let's.
With us is political consultant Emma Burnell and deputy editor of Spiked, Fraser Myers. Good morning again and happy Easter again. What are we starting off with? Emma, in the Mirror, court failings.
Yeah, it seems there's a mediation process that is used in certain cases around sexual abuse, sharing of sexual images, and sometimes it's a perfectly reasonable thing to do, particularly when it's underage children sharing images, not being, they're awful, and it's a horrendous thing to have happen to you. But what you don't want to do is have a 12, 13-year-old life when actually you can work that out in a mediated way. Sadly, this seems to have been expanded in certain cases, in particular it seems in South Yorkshire, into areas of rape and serious sexual abuse and child abuse.
Can the victim here not say that they don't accept this?
It seems that the victim does not have that final say-so in these cases. It's up to the CPS as to what mediation or prosecution they deem reasonable. It's also worth saying that if this process is followed, then some of the more minor offences are not then recorded. And that's a real worry because it's actually very well documented that minor offences like flashing, and I can tell you as someone who was first flashed, age 9, it stays with you. It's not a minor offence to the kids that it's happening to. But it is something that is likely to escalate, and if that's not recorded, then you won't see any kind of follow-up with people who could then go on to...
Yes, because it is apparently very well known, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That somebody who starts off flashing, which used to be seen as fairly innocuous, never was really, but used to be seen that way, does go on to possibly get much more serious. Yeah, that's
interesting.
bad.
That's a dig into that one a bit more and see. I mean, I think in some circumstances it's appropriate.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But in others,
It's about the
mediation,
appropriate
doesn't it?
use of it.
yeah.
Fraser, too many civil servants still wanting to work from home.
Yes,
Are we
still.
sympathetic or not?
I'm not that sympathetic. You know, 2/3 of Foreign Office staff are still working from home. I mean, the pandemic and the measures are, you know, the pandemic's still going on, but a lot of the measures have kind of gone. Most other people are going back to normal. I think there's a problem in the civil service now where this role is seen as just a job rather than a vocation. I mean, we're talking about something as important as running the country. People do, you know, need to be really at their desks. I mean, if you think about it, well,
I mean, didn't the pandemic teach us that? That actually we can work efficiently remotely?
I think that some individuals can work better remotely, but I think as a team, I don't know, in my experience, it was definitely much better as soon as we got back to the office. I think if you need to communicate with people, it's much better to be in the office. I think also, I mean, if we recall back during the sort of Afghanistan withdrawal time, there wasn't just a problem of people working from home and therefore, you know, being less responsible in a way, or finding it harder to reach them, where about only 5% of emails from, you know, distressed people, you know, seeking the help of the civil service, seeking the help of the Foreign Office were answered. But also all the department heads were on holiday at the time. So I think there's just a broader detachment from this important vocation.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's terrible management.
It's not enough to just say that's working from home.
No, of course not. But I think it speaks to a deeper problem.
I don't know, I think the problem I have with this story is it's all about presenteeism. It's about whether they're sat at their desk in one space or sat at a desk at their home. Nothing in this story talks about productivity, which is actually what we should be measuring. If people are productive at home, great, let them work from home. If people are unproductive at home, then they need to be in the office. But that's not a silver bullet catch-all to make someone productive. I think there are definitely times when we need to be working in offices having interesting and important conversations. There are definitely times I'm much more productive at home because I'm not chatting away about last night's telly, which is
Or commuting, or spending hours
or
commuting.
spending an hour commuting.
You've also got the problem then of saying if anyone's in the office, it's almost like sitting on the naughty step. Or you're in the office, therefore you're not working.
Yeah.
You're not here.
Or, conversely, you're working from home, therefore you're lazy.
Yeah, which as someone who freelances and has worked from home since 2017, long before the pandemic, I can tell you that getting up at 7 and starting work and closing my computer at 9 p.m, if I've got the clients, please God I've got the clients, you know, it's how productive you are is what matters.
Yeah.
What you get done for the people that are waiting for things from you is what matters. And I think we need to be looking at this world of work much differently. And it's not just about turning up and not turning up. It's about showing up.
Yes. Mind you, I think we should present the show from my garden one.
We could blend it. We could do it a couple of days from your garden, a couple of days from mine, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice. It's an idea, isn't it?
Not technically how we do, but wouldn't that be lovely? Can we have just a Mail on Sunday, the fuel crisis, Fraser? Because, I mean, this is ongoing, and it's obviously we've got the heating problem, we've got the fuel at the pumps problem.
I mean, it's just the cost of living crisis is just engulfing everything. The Mail's done a poll that says that 26% of the respondents have already, you know, going without heating, essentially, because they can't afford it. And, you know, these problems have been a long time coming, but unfortunately there's been so many different crises recently that have sort of compounded one after the other. We knew the heating bills were going to go insane even before Russia invaded Ukraine, and then that's made things worse for the foreseeable future. So, you know, we have a real problem, particularly in terms of our energy supply. It's not something that governments have really taken that seriously. I think they just assumed that it wasn't, you know, a priority to have energy independence to a certain extent, or energy security, and they've just, you know, sat until things have collapsed, really.
Yeah, and now it's taking over our lives, isn't it?
Yeah.
And finally, we've just got time very quickly for wokery coming to the soap awards.
See, I think there are really, really important categories of activity where we need to have sex segregation. Sport's a really good example. Now, for me, I don't think the acting categories at the soap is one of them, because if you think about who we venerate in soaps, I think men will struggle to get a look in, to be honest. Usually the reason we have these categories is because women have traditionally not been able to compete on what should be an even playing field. But I don't think there are anyone as iconic as, say, a Barbara Windsor or Vera Duckworth, or in my own heart, because I'm the biggest Emmerdale fan. I miss Val Pollard every single.
That's true. I never thought of that, because in Hollywood you have the best male and best female actors, and of course the male ones are the ones that come out top. They're the huge names, aren't they? But in soap it tends to be female.
Yeah.
So now they're going to axe that completely.
So it's
just
going
go
to
for
be best leading performer. Now, they need to monitor it to see if it suddenly goes into a bad gender split. But when it's not a category where the skills that are brought are different, I don't see a particular reason for sex segregation unless it was overcoming a traditional bias against women.
As you say, we'll have to watch that one and see how it goes. Yeah.
Okay, Emma, Fraser, thank you both. We'll catch
Thank
you
you.
a little bit later on.